Here we are. So this is the second mini workshop we're having before closing 2022. And I'm Cecilia Ranturing. I'm helping powerful women to prioritize themselves in order to stop missing their life and reaching their full potential in all aspects of their life. We started last week, last Thursday, this, I would say, end of year ritual to help you close in a healthy way and powerful way 2022. And of course, in order to begin 2023 on a high note. And so let me see who's joining there. Hi, everybody. I'm streaming on 2 different platforms and it seems that I don't have access on Facebook to the comments. So I may answer maybe after the live. Sorry for that. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, we start last week this ritual, and I start sharing with you the wisdom and techniques I've learned for many, many years. And today it's a little bit special. I'm going to give you the step of a very, very powerful ceremony to learn how to release what you don't want to carry in 2023, what you want and what you need to let go of, especially any emotional or mental charges. So last week we worked on identifying where you are currently standing. What are your celebrations, your wins, even your failures, and your learning, and much more. I gave you 8 journal prompts that you have been able, and I saw some great things in the comments and the different platforms of what you discovered. And this week, we're moving from this step of awareness into a more active step of releasing. So the awareness was really the first step, and the release is a second step in order then to connect to a space where you can listen to your inner guidance and also information that might come from the field. And that will be for next week. All right. Do I need to? Yeah, I want to tell you also that the replays will be shared on Facebook and the Self Mastery for Heart Center Women private group on Instagram and on YouTube. So the idea is really that you watch those 3 mini workshop and do the work before the end of the year for you to really begin on a powerful, high, healthy note 2023. All right, so let's begin for today. What is important is to really understand that this work I'm offering you to do is to complete the cycle of this year, and to it's like ending a chapter before beginning a new one, and it's necessary. Very often we don't do that work, and we drag things from the previous cycle unfinished sometime or unprocessed into a new cycle, a new chapter, and sometimes some patterns are keeping repeating themselves, and the process and the ceremony I'm going to offer you will help you to stop those and release yourself from those charge, weight, tensions, or patterns that are not helping you. So the first step is to help you to continue to bring to the surface, to your consciousness, to your conscious mind, the things that you want to release. So some might be obvious and some might be not obvious. And the idea is that you start listing all the things, all the emotions, all the patterns, all the thoughts that you don't want to bring into 2023. So during this years, you experience different things, and those experiences created emotions, whether they were what we call good emotions or positive emotions or negative emotions. Those experiences generated some thoughts, whether same thing, positive or negative, judgment or maybe hope. The idea is really to connect to those moments in your year where those emotions were generated. Though it's about listing, connecting, and identifying the emotional and mental charges you accumulated in 2022. Maybe you can start doing it right now. You can start preparing that list, or capture the first ideas that are coming to your mind as you are listening to me speaking. And if you want, you can share some of them in the chat. I remember during the last mini workshop, I shared with you an event that happened to me last summer, a conflict that I had with a neighbor, and now when I'm connecting to it, I can say the main emotion was anger, and also injustice. I've been carrying those two emotions and the weight they have on me, maybe during 4 months. And even though I've done some work on it, personal work to let them go, to transform them, there is still a memory of it in me, in my body, probably in my mind. And for sure, this is something that I will consider for the ceremony, and that I don't want to drag into 2023. So also what is important once you've done that list is to feel the weight of every item on your list. Really feel it, whether it's a physical sensation. So maybe you feel it in your chest, or around the heart chakra, or solar plexus, or maybe in your back or shoulder. But the idea is that you connect to the physical sensation, if this is easy for you, and also that can bring an image or metaphor. So it's not the mind connecting to the weight of those events and emotions, it's more your body connecting to the weight of those events. Really would love you to feel it. And as you feel it, you will also feel the necessity to release it. And whether, same thing, it's a positive, what we commonly say, positive or negative emotions or thoughts. All right. Then the following step is pretty important, and we are very, very lucky because last night was the moment in the middle of the night of this year winter solstice. And the winter solstice is the very, very powerful moment, as it's a moment where the Earth is the furthest from the sun. So we can imagine the Earth entering into that darkness, that space where there is less light, and exploring those corners of darkness. And it's an invitation to us to do the same, to explore what's not visible under the sun. And so use this energy, use this powerful energy to look inside of you. And the process I'm going to offer you really, really, really helps you to do that, and to release what's there, what is visible, but also what is invisible that you will sense. All right. So also what I want to share is the ceremony that I'm currently explaining to you. I've learned this ceremony with a medicine woman, a native medicine woman called Ego woman, and it's a very, very powerful ceremony that I've been, I think, practicing for nearly 10 years at that moment of the year, in order for me to prepare myself to enter into a new cycle, and also to really connect to to the dreaming body in order to dream something new for myself and my life experience. All right. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I can answer some of them right now, and I know that on Facebook, unfortunately, I cannot see them, and I guarantee you I will answer them later on. What I already said, and maybe some questions that are emerging from what you are hearing. All right. So once you've done that list of activities, of things, of emotions that have been with you in 2022, that you've been carrying, once you felt the weight of those emotions that you are carrying, and again, I repeat that the emotions might be what we call positive or negative emotion. So it can be anger, fear, injustice, as I shared before, but also could be immense joy or all forms of love. So do not judge them, just identify them as they surface to you. And once you felt the weight of each one, what's important is to ask yourself, do I want to release those emotions now? And this is a very important question, because if you feel it's a yes, that's great. You can go ahead. And maybe you can feel, maybe yes for some of them, but some were really beautiful and I'm a little bit attached to them and I don't want. So explore those tensions, those resistances, those attachments. Don't go against it. Don't do something that you don't feel right now, but really be curious about what is present for you. And maybe the moment you plan to do it, you feel resistance, and maybe it's because it's not the right moment. And try again the following day, and it may evolve. So once you felt it's a yes, and you can usually feel it in your body, in your guts, in your heart. It's not a thought that is coming from the mind. It's more a sensation. So once you feel it's a yes, then you can start to move on and do the next step that I'm going to explain to you. And know that this ceremony is really powerful. It will help you to create some inner space to welcome the new aspect of you, the new dreams, maybe new project. It's really making space by releasing what is not serving you, making space for what's available to you. All right. So for those who felt it's a yes, let's continue. And the ceremony is really an invitation, because it's a preparation for you to connect to that emptiness, to that space, and to also to those darker side of yourself. And the idea is really to prepare yourself for this ceremony, and as I said earlier, connect with the winter solstice energy. So meaning do it like in the next couple or 3 or 4 days, if you can do it. That will really help you in the releasing process. It's like you have an extra support to do the work. All right, and so you will start by walking in nature. So if you live maybe in the countryside, that will be easier for you. And if you live in the city or a more built environment, go in a park. You know, the idea is really to connect with nature where you are. Don't put too much constraint in doing this work, because your mind might then give you all the excuses not to do it. So go in nature, go in the park, find some trees, some place that are green, and then as you walk, invite yourself to collect a stick. So you will find the stick somewhere on the ground, or maybe a branch on a tree, and take this stick. And the stick needs to be about the size of half of your arm, and the thickness or aspect or surface really doesn't matter. The idea is really to have something about 40 centimeters then that you can take and use. So once you grab that stick that is for you, if you feel that is right for you, you can thank the tree that offered it to you, or the place where you found it. And then the next step is to prepare a fire. So that's of course easier if you are in open environment in nature or in a forest. That's much easy, obviously, but you can do your own fire on your balcony. If you have a balcony, take a metal dish and put some piece of wood and create your little fire. And if this is even impossible, you can use a candle to create your own sacred fire to do this work. All right. Then once you've done that, the idea is to use a yarn or a ribbon or a string or fabric strips, and this, let's call it a string, will help you to connect yourself to the experience that you had, and that are connected to some emotions that you had. So you will need to revisit the experience of significance that you had throughout this year 2022. And as you will think to an experience, you will wrap your string around the stick. So let's say you connect to a first experience, and so you're remembering the experience, and as you're wrapping the string on the stick, little by little, the emotions, the thoughts, or even the physical sensation that are connected to that experience will raise. You will remember, you will maybe sense them, and so you wrap the string around the stick till you feel it's complete, till you feel there is nothing else to feel, there is nothing else to remember, that you wrapped all the memories and feelings and emotions around the stick. So you do that with the first experience, and then you move to the second one. And you can change the color of the string or the yarn or the ribbon, or you can continue with the same one. And you take the second one and you wrap your string around the stick till there is a memory about that experience, till there is emotions, till there are thoughts or judgment, and you wrap it and you finish when you feel it's complete. And then you move on till you covered all the experience that we're carrying some emotional charge or heavy thoughts or even positive thoughts. You know, if you maybe you met someone that has a huge impact, a new friend, and you feel this immense love for this person, use it. Wrap your string around the stick and connect those emotions and on the string and wrap it on the stick. If you do that, it doesn't mean that you won't have that beautiful relationship that emerge in your life in 2022. It's just that there will be no more emotional weight. There will be no more attachment. You will have the ability to be with that person and see that person without the filter of the emotions, without the filter of your own thoughts and belief. That's a very, very powerful way to be in relationship, as you will see through different eyes the relationship. All right, so the idea is really to connect to each experience and to wrap your string, wrap the experience around the stick. Okay, and every time connect deeply to the experience, the emotion, the thoughts, and appreciate each one. So I know it's easier to appreciate what is positive, okay, what we call positive, love, joy, happiness. And I invite you to even appreciate some sadness, some anger, some maybe fear, because this is coming from you. You want to appreciate all the part of yourself. You want to be accepting whole of you. You don't want to appreciate just half of you. You want to appreciate everything. Okay. And yeah, I see it's like a gift that life is offering you. So say thank you for the gifts that you receive in 2022.